everyone, I'm Kinjal Patel, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Computer Engineering. So here is the part 2 of Chapter 3, Parsing Theory, Lecture 1. So the topics to be covered in this chapter are syntax-directed definitions, synthesized attributes, inherited attribute, dependency graph, bottom-up evaluation of S-attributed definitions, L-attributed definitions, translation scheme. And in this lecture, we'll cover syntax-directed definitions, synthesized attributes, and inherited attributes. So first, what is syntax-directed definitions? So syntax-directed definition is a generalization of context-free grammar in which each grammar symbol has an associated set of attributes. Means syntax-directed definition or SDD is used to assign attributes to each grammar rules. So the attributes can be a number. So for number, we can denote attribute as e dot value. Then for type, we can represent attribute type with e dot type, where e is non-terminal symbol. Then attribute can be memory location. So we can represent memory location by e dot memory location. Then it can be return type. So to represent return type, we can denote e dot return type. Okay. So we can represent the attribute by dot symbol. So non-terminal dot attribute name. Now there are two types of attribute. First attribute is synthesized attribute and second attribute is inherited attribute. So synthesized attribute can be represented by .sy syntax, or also we can represent synthesized attribute with .number, .type, .memory location, .return type by any name. But to represent inherited attribute, we can use .in or .i syntax only. Okay. So there are no rules to define synthesized attribute. We can define synthesized attribute with any of name, that .value, .type, .memory location, .return type, .sy. But to represent inherited attribute, .in and .i syntax is used. So first, we'll see what is synthesized attribute. So the value of synthesized attribute at a node can be computed from the value of attributes at the children of that node in parse tree. Means if you want to compute the synthesized attribute of any node, then it can be computed from the children of that node. Syntax directed definition that uses synthesized attribute is said to be S-attributed definition. So we'll see with example that how to construct syntax directed definition for production rules. So when we represent production rules with semantic rules, then that definition is said to be syntax directed definition. Semantic rules means when we assign attributes to each non-terminal symbol in production rule, then that rules are said to be semantic rules. So in this production rule, we will assign each non-terminal with synthesized attributes. Now the question is when to assign synthesized attribute and when to assign inherited attribute. So if there are two consecutive non-terminals are at the right hand side of grammar, then second non-terminal will be assigned with the inherited attribute only. And if there are terminal symbols between two non-terminals, or there is non-terminal symbol between two terminal symbols, or there is single non-terminal symbols, then we'll assign that non-terminal with synthesized attributes. So in these production rules, there are no two consecutive at the right hand side of production. So the whole production rule will be assigned with synthesized attributes only. So there can be syntax directed definition which has synthesized attributes only. But there are no definition in which inherited attributes are used without synthesized attributes. So for production L derives En, the semantic rule is print E dot value, means the first production is used to print the E dot value, means the value of starting symbol. Now the second production rule is E derives E1 plus T. So our semantic rule will be E dot value equals to E1 dot value plus T dot value. Now here we are representing synthesized attribute with dot value as we are computing the digit in this example. Okay, so E dot value equals to E1 dot value plus T dot value, means this E dot value will be computed from its children, which are E1 dot value plus T dot value. So E dot value can be computed from its children. Now next production is E dot value equals to T dot value. So here E dot value will be computed from its children T dot value. Now third rule is T derives T1 star F. So T dot value equals to T1 dot value star F dot value. So we'll represent all non-terminal with attribute value. So T dot value. Now in this rule you can see that here left hand side there is T dot value and in right hand side there is T1 dot value. So we have given different name because the value at T dot value can be different from this T1 dot value, as this T dot value is the result of this T1 dot value star F dot value. So if T1 dot value equals to 3 and F dot value equals to 4, then this T dot value will be 12. So this T dot value and this T1 dot value has different result. So just to show that these two variables have different result, we have given different names. Now T derives F, so for that T dot value equals to F dot value, means T dot value will be computed from its children F dot value. Then next is F dot value equals to E dot value, means F dot value will be computed from E dot value. And last, F derives digit, means F dot value equals to digit dot lex value, means this digit contains the 0 to 9 digit value. You can also write digit dot value here. Okay, so here is the string which we want to parse using these semantic rules. So we will construct parse tree for this production rule. And if we construct parse tree for the semantic rules, means if we assign the attribute values in parse tree, then it's said to be annotated parse tree. So first we'll see how to construct parse tree from this production rule. Then we'll see how to construct annotated parse tree, means how to assign attributes in parse tree. Okay. So parse tree means when we draw a tree from production rules, that tree is said to be parse tree, and when we draw tree directly from the string, then that tree is said to be syntax tree. So to construct the parse tree for the string 3 star 5 plus 4n, we'll start from the starting symbol, which is L. So L derives En. So L derives En, where n represent the new line. So the string 3 star 5 plus 4n, n has been derived. Now we want to pass the string 3 star 5 plus 4. So here there are two operators in this string, that star and plus. So the rule of parse tree says that if there are two operators with different priority, then the operator with lower priority will be computed first. Means the operator with the lower priority will be at higher level in parse tree. So as plus has lower priority than star, so first we'll compute plus. So to compute 5 plus 4, the production rule E1 plus T is used. So E1 plus T will be derived from E. So this E symbol will be replaced by E1 plus T. So E derives E plus T. As E and E1 are same, we have just differentiated this value to show that this 2E has different values in it. Now next, at the left hand side of plus, there is production 3 star 5 So 3 star 5 will be computed from this E. So to compute 3 star 5, T1 star F production is used. So T1 star F will be derived from T. So to retrieve T, symbol E is used. So from E, this E will be replaced with symbol T, and then this T will be replaced with T1 star F. So from E to T and T to T star F. Now the format has been generated that T star F plus T. We now will replace this T with number digit. So digit will be derived from F. So to derive F, T non-terminal is used. So from T, T will be replaced with F and F will be replaced with digit. Now this F will be directly replaced with digit and this T will be replaced with F and then this F will be replaced with digit. So this is pass tree for 3 star 5 plus 4n. Now we want to construct annotated pass tree for this input string. Means we want to assign the value to each non-terminal symbol in this pass tree. So the annotated pass tree will be like this, that here we have just assigned the attribute value to each non-terminal symbol. Now here, as the rule of synthesize attribute says that synthesize attribute will be computed from its child node. So we'll start from the bottom and we'll move toward starting symbol. So here, as the digit has value 3, so now the annotated pass tree will be constructed from semantic rules. So here digit has been replaced with digit dot lex value. So first digit dot lex value has value 3, then second digit dot lex value has value 5, and third digit dot lex value has value 4. Now we'll compute the f dot value. So here, as f dot value is synthesized attribute, so this value will be computed from its child. So here f dot value has a child which has value 3. So f dot value will have value 3. Now t dot value has child f. So the value of f will be copied down in t dot value. And here f dot value has child digit dot lex value which has value 5. So f dot value have, so the value 5 will be copied down in f. So here t dot value has value 3 and f dot value has value 5. Now this t dot value has children t dot value star f dot value. So 3 star 5 operation will be performed. So the result is 15. So this t dot value has result 15. Now here f dot value equals to 4 because its child has value 4. So this value will be passed to its parent. Now t dot value has value 4 and the value of this t dot value will be passed to its parent. So e dot value equals to 50. Now 15 plus 4 equals to 19. So the result 19 will be passed to its parent. So here e dot value equals to 19. Now the starting symbol L is used to print the e dot value. So starting symbol is used to print the value 19. Okay. So this pass tree showing the value of attribute at each node is called annotated pass tree. So this is annotated pass tree for 3 star 5 plus 4n. So the process of computing the attribute values at the node is called annotated pass tree. Means annotated pass tree will be constructed using semantic rules and pass tree will be constructed using production rules. So now next attribute is inherited attribute. So inherited attribute at a node in pass tree is computed from the value of attribute at the parent node or siblings of that node. Means the value of inherited attribute will be computed from parent node or sibling node. So synthesized attribute is computed from its child node, and inherited attribute is computed from parent node or sibling node. So we'll see it with example that here the production rules are given that D derives TL, where D, T and L are the non-terminal symbols, then T derives integer and T derives real, L derives L1 comma ID and L derives ID. So here is the production rules. So these production rules are for variable declaration, that from this production rule we can derive the string like integer id comma id comma id, or we can derive the string real id comma id comma id. So now we'll assign inherited attribute to these production rules. So as we have already discussed that if there are two non-consecutive non-terminals in the right hand side, so then we'll represent second non-terminal with inherited attribute. So here D derives TL, so we'll represent this L with inherited attribute, and first non-terminal will be assigned with synthesized attribute. So this L value depends on the parent of that L, which is T. So L value depend on the T. Now here we have represented L with IN inherited attribute, and for T we have used type attribute as the production rule is for declaration of type. Now as we have already defined this T as synthesized attribute, so wherever we find T, we will use T dot type in the grammar. So T dot type equals to integer. So as you can say that this T dot type is synthesized attribute, so it will be computed from its child. Then T dot type equals to real. Then L1 dot in equals to L dot in. Here we have already found that L is inherited type. So wherever L found in the grammar will represent that L with inherited attribute only. So here L1 is inherited attribute. So as rule says that inherited attribute depends on the parent or sibling. So here L1 attribute will be computed from L attribute, which is parent of that L attribute. So L1 dot in equals to L dot in. Now identifier, so add type identifier dot entry comma L dot in means we are making the entry of identifier in symbol table using add type function. Same, L derives ID. So again for this ID, we need to make the entry in symbol table. So add type function is used to make the entry of ID in symbol table. Okay, so syntax directed definition with inherited attribute dot in. So here symbol T is associated with synthesized attribute type and symbol L is associated with inherited attribute in. Now we'll construct parse tree from the production rules for the string real id1 comma id2 comma id3. So we'll start from the starting symbol and we will parse D derives TL in parse tree. So D derives TL as the production is D derives TL in production rule. Now next L derives, so here L derives L1 comma ID. So from this L we'll parse L1 comma ID. So L derives L1 comma ID. Now we want to parse two more ID. So we'll again parse L1 comma ID from this L1. Okay, so as 2 ID has been passed, now to derive one ID, we'll directly replace this L with ID. So L1 derives ID using the production L derives ID. Now from this T, so we want to derive the type real. So we'll select T derives real and we'll replace T with real. Okay, so the parse tree has been constructed from production rules. Now next task is to assign the attributes to each non-terminal symbol. So as T is synthesize attribute, so we'll assign T dot type attribute here. Now here as T dot type is synthesize attribute, so it will take value from its child. So T dot type equals to real, which has been computed from its child. So T dot type depends on its children. Okay, now next we want to compute the value of this L. So here L is inherited attribute. So L depends on its sibling, that L dot in equals to T dot type. So here L dot in equals to real because it depends on the sibling of it, which is T dot type. So L dot in will take the value from its sibling, that is real. So L dot in equals to real. Now next here L1. So to assign L1, inherited attribute is used. So we'll replace this L1 with L dot in. Now here L dot in equals to real. Why? Because L1 dot in L1 dot in depends on its parent. So here the parent of this L is L dot in. So the L dot in equals to real. So this real will be passed to this L dot in value, or also we can say L1 dot in. Okay, now this real value will be passed to this identifier. Then parser can know that this ID is of real type. Now next here L dot in equals to real because this L1 also depends on its parents. So the value of this L will be derived from its parents. So now L dot in equals to real. Now this value will be passed to identifier. So now parser can know that this ID2 is also of real type. Now this value will be passed to this identifier. So parser can know that ID1 is also of real type. Okay, so ID1, ID2 and ID3 all are of real type. So this is annotated parse tree for inherited attribute, and this is syntax directed definition for inherited attribute. So in this lecture we have learned syntax directed definition, which is combination of production rules and semantic rules. Then we have learned two different attributes, synthesized attributes and inherited attribute with its example. Thank you.